Hi there, this is Tyler, and I am here with a crew from the Gauntlet, which if you watch much of my stuff, I play with the Gauntlet a lot because they're amazing. If you like gaming, if you like finding a group that cares about gaming, cares about taking care of each other, some of the best gamers in the whole world, then you too should find Gauntlet. You can find us at gauntlet-rpg.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Even though G Plus is dying, we're still there until the corpse is put in the ground. We are one of the best places you will ever find to game. I highly recommend it. This group I'm playing with now are some of my favorite folks on Earth, and we're taking on Monster of the Week, which is by Michael Sands. And I'll be honest, it may be my favorite PBTA game that's out there. If not, it's a close second behind Worldwide Wrestling. But it is a game that I absolutely adore. And we're going to be playing an adventure that's called I Got You Under My Skin. And our game is taking place on February 23rd, 1988. The cast of Born to Dance are at the Cincinnati Music Hall preparing for opening night when a snowstorm leaves them stranded in the theater. Over the next 2 days, they encounter horror beyond human scope because all the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. We'll see what parts we're all playing tonight. I want to start by saying that we have some safety tools. First off, we have the Gauntlet inclusivity policy, which at its base is saying we're all friends. We're all here to take care of each other. We're generous. We're supportive. We're here to have a good time. And, that is our focus. We're lifting each other up, never tearing down. Also, we're going to have the X card on the table. The X card, for those who don't know, is if something becomes problematic or something is destroying your fun, or if something gets too personal or is hitting just something that really is causing a dissonance for your enjoyment, you can do something like this. You can put something in the chat, or you could say, hey, Tyler, I think I want to X that. I will say with the chat, I tend to not look over as often to the chat, so you may want to visually get my attention. But as soon as I see that, know that, I may ask for a little clarification. But we're going to pull back. I'll reframe, and we'll head forward. The point of that is to make sure we all feel safe and secure and happy and able to enjoy our game together. Please feel free to use it. I use it in games all the time because, the point is to have fun. And yeah, we're all here to make sure that this is a supportive, enjoyable session. So with that in mind, I'm going to see. Our players have been coming up with their characters. So anybody yet got a character put together? If not, that's fine. I'm also beginning to realize my voice is starting to fade out. I've had a cold for 3 weeks, and I cannot get rid of it. Probably my horrible smoking has not helped.
I have sort of mechanical ideas put together for a character, and I'm still working on, I don't know, I suppose the character part of it.
All right. Would you like to tell us a little bit about them, and then from there we can kind of see what this character's like?
So I'm playing the Flake. I went with it's a man who has a name. I'm sure it's a very appropriate name. I'll reveal it at the appropriate time. I went with focused eyes on the sort of his acting style is always the intense, super engaged stare. He's got very sort of creepy Elijah Wood style eyes. And just a very in your face, gazing into the depths of your soul every time he's asking you what you like in your coffee or something like that. Oh, that's that. I was in the middle of doing that. Then I got distracted by looking for a picture, and now I have to talk about things. I don't have the Net Friends move because that would be wildly inappropriate to the time period that we're in, and I couldn't come up with an easy replacement. So I'm going to do a fallback to my standard flake move, which I was trying to avoid, but Fate said no. You have to do the crazy dot connections. So I'll have some questions I can ask at some point during the mystery because I've made connections. Also, contrary, just because it's the move that I always look at, but I've never actually chosen, which you'd think I would. But when you seek out and receive someone's honest advice on the best course of action for you, and then do something else instead, or even do the exact opposite of their advice, I get things. And often overlooked when you act all crazy to avoid something. Roll weird. I went with the rumpled suit as well, in that sort of like he's trying to look like a thrift store hipster and mostly ending up at like well-dressed hobo.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And so you're an actor in our production.
Oh yeah, definitely. No. I mean, normal people that can do like actual useful skills with their hand or brain would not be this guy. No, it's very crazy.
How's your voice? Now, this is a musical, of course,
Oh, it's a musical.
by the great Cole Porter.
Oh my. um, it's got a lot of character.
Do you make up in style with volume?
Yes.
Excellent.
If I drown out the notes, you can't tell that I'm off.
That's fantastic. Anyone else happen to have some things ready to share? If not, I'll go over just as a quick giving a second or two more for us to come up with characters. That it's been snowing for the last few days, and the snow has gotten up to 6-7 inches. Certainly nothing that those folks in Ohio. Now, if we're down in South Carolina, we would have locked ourselves in the house and never walked back out. But folks in Ohio are like, oh, goodness, we could drive right through that. So there's not been, people are still doing stuff. There has been word that there could be a storm coming in. But what we're going to discover is that what ended up happening very quickly is that a blizzard really sort of flowed in. The play we're doing, which is Born to Dance, is one of Cole Porter's, let's say, less well-known shows, though it does have the great song, I've Got You Under My Skin, and is fairly early, and honestly, it's not very good. And I'm a Cole Porter fan. But in our play, we have our director, Renee Marcelli, and she's worked in New York, she's worked in LA. So far, she's mostly worked backstage, but coming back home to Columbus with those credentials, she's taken on the directorship of this play. She's businesslike, very capable, it seems so far, especially since she's wrangling kind of local talent, which has a broad level of capability. We also have Steve Sellers, who's our leading man and a beautiful tenor. He's also quite a handsome guy. Very sweet. One of those sort of people you go, oh, sweetie, to a lot, because not very bright. We also have Max Harvester, who is the conductor of the orchestra. He has been here in the theater or the music hall for decades. He's in his late 60s. He has done music all the way from the advanced stuff of Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, this new style of theater, to Rogers and Hammerstein and Gilbert and Sullivan, you know, the true masters. He is a little bit snarky, a little bit aloof to the talent, but really quite a capable conductor. And finally, we have Laura Pallant, who is our kind of leading lady, beautiful alto voice, pleasant young person. She's sort of leading our cast. She's our ingenue, our object of affection. It's a Cole Porter sort of musical. So she's wonderful and lovely in the play. She seems like she's wonderful and lovely in real life. Those of you who happen to have hung around her a good bit also know she teaches music at the high school and is, in truth, a really spunky, wonderful young lady. Seems like a great person. And then there's Mamie Molloy. She's an older lady in her mid-50s who has done a lot of the local theater and has, perhaps similar to our Flake, more volume than technique, but is known for doing great comedic roles, and she knows everybody and everything. She hears it all, she sees it all, and she likes to tell it all. Other than that, there is Grady, who is the kind of caretaker of the building. He's the guy that lets you in. He's the guy that locks up when you leave. He's the one that keeps up with, like, making sure all the lights are off. He also kind of cleans up a little bit. He's not full-on maintenance, but he is the guy that, you know, is in charge of the building while y'all are doing stuff. So, anybody feel like introducing a character?
I'm going back and forth on what my crooked skill background set is, but I know my larger background, which is that you wouldn't know by my name, but I am the son of the guy who runs this town. You know, not the mayor, but the actual power. And when I said that I wanted to go into acting, things happened, and I got a role, because you don't say no to my family. I don't want to let people know about that, though, because I can stand on my own legs. I am really good at this shit. I'm not super good at this shit, but I will believe that I am. Oh, I also have a name. It's a normal human name, and I know what it is, and I'll tell you at some point in the future.
Do you have much of a voice? Do you sing well?
I think not great. Like, he's never gonna make the big time, but, you know, he's not bad. You can carry a tune.
Excellent. Alrighty. Alex, how you feeling about yours? You got a little bit of an idea on it?
I think so. I've got a normal human name prepared. Allie Duncan. These are... the look, I went young person with the messiest of hair buns and nerd clothes, in brackets, mittens, but fingerless mittens, as you can see from the picture. Totally cool. It's going to be, like, big in, like, 25 years, just believe me. Background, I was thinking, like, high school journalist who, like, let the big scoop slip and now is just, like, desperately trying to regain that glory. Yeah, I guess I'm in this musical.
Are you in the musical, or are you there, like...
Oh, in this musical to probably, like, I can't decide whether or not just, like, a regular, whatchamacallit, what is the word? Talking to people to learn about them. Interviewer,
right. Yeah, are you thinking you're interviewing folks, or are you in the play itself?
You know what? I think I'm here undercover. Because I've heard that there are some shady dealings going on in this musical. Because, like, Honestly, no one here can sing. How is this a musical?
Oh, I
So
love
I'm here
it.
to figure out what's going on, really.
Excellent. Okay, so you're here to interview folks, but not actually be in the play. Or are you undercover in the play doing an
Oh, yeah.
expose? Oh, I gotcha. Oh, I love it. Can you sing?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
Wonderful. I love that the undercover person is one of the more talented singers in the cast.
Maybe I'll find a new career.
Excellent. Okay, cool. Sarah, think we've got a little bit of a character?
Yeah, her name is Laura. She is an actual journalist person from a newspaper. She has a badge. Yeah, so this is like, what do you call it? Not rehearsals, I guess, or okay, but not
Yeah,
quite previews.
Not quite previews. Yeah, we're doing like dress rehearsal and all of that.
Okay, so I'd probably come around to interview the director, or maybe like the writers hanging around. Is he still alive when this is happening?
Yeah, Cole's well dead, passed out.
Okay.
Yeah, the director's probably your person.
Yeah. She's not got any special talents aside from having an actual job.
Excellent. All right. So I think let's build a few bonds, and we'll let everybody. If you don't have moves laid out for sure, feel free to pick them in the course of things when they pop up the way where they can be useful. That's perfectly fine. So I'm gonna start with you, Patrick. Let's pull out one bond you like there, and see if someone bites or point to someone.
Sure, I know where those are. I'm looking at them right now and I'm reading them. I definitely have a favorite that I have pre-prepared. I'm just using this long preamble to all prepare you for how amazing this. I can't read and talk at the same time. Damn it.
Do you see them?
Yeah. I'm just.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think I keep saying bonds, but it's actually history.
Yes.
Would you like a moment?
Yeah.
All right. Then I'll pick on Ryan. Ryan, why don't you give us a bond?
Oh no.
Or a history.
I like the sound of a couple of these. I'm just narrowing it down. Well, I guess I will ask the table. Does someone want to be either my moral compass or know about my criminal past and saw me commit a crime?
Ooh.
It might make sense for me to know about your criminal past, given that I am a journalist.
I like that. Sound good to you, Ryan?
Yes, that sounds great.
Then I'd like to know from you, Ryan, what your criminal past, what does that involve? I mean, are you like a gun for hire, or is it something a little less murdery?
Yeah, I was thinking grifter, but I think I'm going to switch to hoodlum because, yeah, it was probably murdery. I mean, like, I don't regularly get my hands dirty. We've got people for that. But sometimes you gotta do things yourselves, you know?
Ooh, all right. So, Sarah, I'm going to ask you. You know that this is a heavy. This is someone who hurts, even kills people. What are you wanting out of investigating this? Out of investigating him?
Well, I am here to interview the director, but also we probably know about each other. Let's see. Yeah, just to see how far I can get.
Okay. Do you think that have you been bought off by the family in the past? So you're coming in to do the interview with the director, hoping maybe to get a scoop. But have you dealt with the family before?
Let's say yes.
Nice. Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
Not sure how she feels about that yet, but it has happened.
Cool. Oh, I love it. Do you happen to have a bond, Sarah, ready to offer out?
You're a bit suspicious of them. It might make sense for Ryan's character, since we just said that.
Could be. Want to go with that, Ryan? What you think of that?
I don't know why you'd be suspicious of me. I am awesome, and I've never lied to anyone or done anything wrong ever. But, I mean, you can be.
See, that kind of insistence is exactly why I'm suspicious.
All right. So that sounds like a nice reciprocal set there. Alex, got a bond you want to throw out there?
There's one I'm kind of like flipping and flopping on, but I'll commit. I know why you don't really believe in monsters.
Ooh, that's a good one. Anybody feel like grabbing?
And also, just as like a side thing, I tell them when they found out about my past, which also means they probably know that I'm here for the expose and not really the brilliant musical actor that I pretend that I am.
So what was the history again? I'm sorry.
They know why you don't really believe in monsters.
Why don't you really believe in monsters?
I'm glad you asked. See, it was about a year ago now, where I was on the trail of something big. It was some like small time occult thing, but like there were traces. It was real. I was sure of it. And so I took it to the authorities, and they were like, yeah, of course it's just a monster. What are you talking about? You don't need to show this to us. You're not going to do anything about this. And then I found out they were in on it. But they'd already cleaned up the evidence. There was nothing I could do.
In that
They
case,
were the real monsters.
do I know that? Because I have friends on the force. We make things go away.
Maybe. Maybe it was you.
You're muted, Tyler.
I'm sorry. Patrick, do you think you want to grab that one, or?
Yeah, I'm not going to call dibs over other people. But...
No, I think that works for Ryan.
Okay, excellent. All right, Ryan, that sounds good to you then? You're aware why And I will know everybody's human names. I was just hadn't gotten there yet, had I? Allie, there we go. My Allie doesn't really believe in monsters. Patrick, you got one to throw out?
Oh, where'd it go? There it is. So, I think I think Will, my normal human name is Will Flowers. It's a totally normal name. Nothing wrong with it. Stop looking at me. It's fine. But the reason why Will is going to be so sure that he understands exactly what's going on and what the details and ins and outs of whatever this you say ghost possession thing. No, I'll figure it out. Something supernatural thing. I've been here before. Is that something like this? This is not the first haunted theater I've been in, and one of you was there with me. So you went through hell together. Maybe a monster. It was a monster. Other things. Whatever it was, it bound you together, and you have total trust in each other. It was a theater ghost.
Ooh, I like that. Who here has dealt with a theater ghost with, is it Ben? Will Flowers.
Maybe this was me. And because we couldn't catch it, I'm still here on the trail.
Nice.
Do we think maybe, I mean, you're here to write this, coming for this expose, right?
Yeah.
You know Will. Do we think, Will, you've, called Allie in knowing this time you can prove it's all true?
This time we can catch the culprit.
No, I think it's one of those weird fate synchronicity things of whenever this happened the first time, it was horrible. The ghost got away. There was no resolution. It's Monster of the Week, so probably some folk died. And Will ran away from that town, has never been back to that state, sort of thing, tries to forget about it, never think about it. And here he is, he's gotten not a leading part, but he's understudying for one of the leading parts, and he's got a pretty good sort of patter song role, and he's focusing on learning his lines, and just then out of nowhere there's fucking Allie one day, and things start going weird, and things start getting a little hinky, and it's definitely her fault, and just a walking omen of doom.
Oh, I love it. Fantastic. I think I'm going to adjust to say that this is press day, since we have some folks coming in from the press with Sarah. I've added into our NPCs Jerry Moore, Channel 7 reporter, who is here to show what's going on right here in Cincinnati. And he's also here to interview some of the actors. And maybe we have a few other press people around as well. Worth noting, there's quite a few folks who are on site. We should keep in mind, I have not given an exhaustive list. We got a bunch of folks we could play with if we'd like. We all have a little bit of a connection to each other. And so I think we're gonna get started if everybody feels solid. So I'm gonna set what we're opening here with. The music hall has always been known as a place that, it's old. I mean, very old. Over 100 years at this point. And it has, like most theaters, legends of ghosts, legends of strange things that have happened. People have died in this theater. Some have been audience members who have a heart attack. Some are workers from the catwalks that have fallen. There was a rather unpleasant incident with a traveling show where an extremely capable young lady singer found her gentleman friend frolicking with one of the locals and proceeded to stab them both about 20 times each. She said that 10 would have been enough, but she wanted to make the point. It's that sort of, old theater. And so there's always that little ramblings about. Here we are at press day, and while the cast was up there performing and going through different scenes, reporters would come up and they'll catch an actor off sides. Channel 7's been filming some of the highlight moments. But definitely, and I want to check the name for Laura. There we go. Laura, you're well aware that there's supposed to be a storm coming in. The paper, that's really what's going to be getting the headlines, is a storm coming in. So you're well aware of it. And you can, amongst the other press folks, they're talking about getting the hell out of here. By the time the sun goes down, it's just everything's going to freeze up. And some of them have started drifting out. Few of them have left early, and you see Channel 7 starting to pack up. Renee, up on stage, has gone, places again. This has not gone like I envisioned it. I want step 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. Not step 3, 3, 2, 1, 3. This is not happening. This is not happening. And as folks are packing up and getting ready, and the actors are going back to places, Grady comes in from the front. With him is one of the last reporters to head out. And he says, I should tell you all, I don't know if it's going to be safe to head out. This reporter has run back over to the kind of bullpen where all the other reporters are. And Laura, you hear the door's frozen over. It can't open. We've got to find a different way out of here if we're going to leave.
Is Jerry Moore still here?
Jerry's still here, and as he's hearing this, you can see he's, what? I've got to go and cover the storm. He's kind of agitated about all this.
Okay, at this point, I'm kind of assuming that we will find a way out eventually, but I have a motorcycle outside, which is a terrible idea in this kind of weather. So I want to just kind of go up to Jerry and just tap him on the shoulder. Hey, do you mind if I catch a ride with you out?
He looks over at you and he cuts the big smile. Laura Sagers, how wonderful to see you. Well, as soon as we get out of here, there's a place in the van for you. We like to help the old press.
That's all I want to hear. Yeah, thanks. I still have to talk. I mean, if we're going to be stuck here, I have to talk to the director anyway, maybe when she's a little calmer. Yeah, just hit me up when you guys are on your way out.
Absolutely. My producer's going to find us a way out. We're very important. We can't possibly be stuck here in the middle of a storm. That's just not news.
Well, storm's not my beat, so.
And he's packing up with his cameraman, and he's like, we'll be. Grady's come down, and you see him talking to Renee, who happens to be pretty close beside you there, Allie. As Grady comes up and says, Miss Marcelli, I've got to tell you, the snow's already, there's nearly 2 foot outside the doors. We're going to need someone to kind of help me push. I'm not sure we're going to be able to get out anytime soon. And even if we get out, you can't see out there. It's a blizzard, ma'am. She goes, what? Blizzard? Locked in here. Nothing else to do but rehearse. Absolutely. You're right. No one should go out on the streets in this. We should rehearse 20 hours, 40 hours. It's going to be perfect, Grady. Perfect. Yes, ma'am. And as she moves off, Allie, what do you do?
I think we see Ellie like quickly hide away some like notepad that she was scribbling on. Like, oh, very interested in being locked in here. I'll walk up to Renee, be like, oh, pardon me, I just overheard that we might be locked in here for a while.
It seems to be the case. It's a tragedy, of course, being stuck here. There's plenty of food, though. I'm sure Grady can open up the commissary. We'll have an opportunity to make every line perfect, though. And I'm sure we could find places to bed down. You know, actors who live together, love together, and they create art together.
I mean, there's some people here I wouldn't really call actors, but...
She sort of looks around, leans in. Well, few of them have your voice, my dear. But I assure you, and she motions across the cast and kind of takes a moment to linger at Ben. I assure you, everyone here is bringing certain talents on board.
I think
Ben
Ellie
just
notices
beams
that.
because I'm great.
Ellie notices that lingering look and says, And just so that I'm aware, would you happen to know who called for rehearsal today?
Oh, well, I called rehearsal, of course, but, well, we are nearing opening, and I felt like that even with the potential of some inclement weather, we all needed to come together and really work on these scenes. So far, it's been migraine-inducing, but, well, I'm sure it's going to only improve. Only improve, my dear.
Oh, of course. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should get back to it. Step 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and all.
You're so right. Oh, everyone, follow Allie's lead. Begin. Well.
Hello.
You've heard Grady say that this place, people aren't able to get out. And in fact, you're seeing the producer for Channel 7 moving back through going, you can't even see out there. Look, I don't think we can go. He's yelling towards, shit, Mr. Moore. Jerry, yelling towards Jerry. Says, there's already it's nearly 3 feet around the door. What are you doing?
I think I'm staring, watching that, and there's a zoom in on his intense eyes and a fade into a very sepia tone flashback, as there's another stage manager at another door looking out saying, the storm, it just seems to have come up out of nowhere. I don't think we can get the cars out. We may be stuck here. Zooms back out into the present day, and he turns around, whips around and stares over people's shoulders towards Allie. No, not again. Never again. I'm wondering if I could roll my connect the dots.
I absolutely think you can.
So at the beginning of the mystery, if you look for the wider pattern that current events might be a part of, roll plus sharp. And we have a thingamajigger. Choose dice.
Yes, and then if anyone else has a start of session move, this would be our time to bring them up.
There we go. Okay. 6, 7, 8.
Fantastic. What happens on a 7 to 9?
So I get one question.
Okie doke.
I'm gonna hold it till things actually start happening.
Okay.
But over the course of this mystery, I get one revelation from our link back to the previous haunting.
And as you're staring over at Allie, you notice that the band, there's kind of rumbling down in the pit of, well, I've got to get home, and, we can't be stuck here. I've got my cat Tibbles is going to need food, and these sorts of things. But as you look over, Max Harbesher kind of wraps his baton down and looks across the pit. Gentlemen and ladies, we'll be taking this at the interlude. And music begins to swell as they play the interlude. You would swear Max does not look surprised that you're all locked in.
And actually, looking at things and considering it, I would definitely like to blow one of my luck on the first roll of the game.
Oh my.
Just because
That's a wise choice.
Yeah. I don't believe in longevity, and I like these questions. And I really want to burn one right now, but I didn't want to burn it if it was my only one. But since it's not my only one, staring across at Allie, daggers and electricity and just bad juju. She'll get it. Still get it. Is this person connected to current events more than they're saying? Is he a part of this? Is this storm? Is it because Allie showed up? Is he bringing something with her?
Let me look a moment. Give me just a tiny second, because that's a fairly complicated question.
Suffer under technicalities and logistics.
No, this is not happening because of Allie. However, as you look over at Allie, who's, going back and going into the dance routine, the overture is playing. As Allie begins to dance, Allie, would you mind rolling me a possession roll, please? You may choose to roll with cool or weird.
Would I ever? I suck at both.
Tyler, would you walk us through step by step of what's happening here, since it's the first time?
Yes. What's happening is, Allie, you're feeling a sort of presence almost coalescing around you. Something is... It's kind of that feeling of someone is just right behind you, or that someone's watching you, you just can't figure out where. It's as though something is paying extreme attention to you. Now, it could be because, honestly, Will's just staring daggers at you from across the stage. But it's, something in this is kind of... You feel this pressure. What you're going to be rolling will have the effect of, say you roll a 10 plus, you're just going to shake it. I mean, it's going to affect you not at all. If it's one of these others, something is going to occur. So.
That is... Oh, crap. I threw it off screen. What happened?
Yeah.
There was a die there, and then it disappeared.
Last roll shows 7.
7. So I got a 6.
A 6. I will say that this might be an opportunity if you wanted Will to help. You're certainly looking there at Allie, but you may not choose to.
Can I make her have lower than a 6? Would that hurt, sir?
It will not make things worse than the 6. So it sounds like 6 it is.
Wow.
I sort of, because I was looking deeper at the history, I sort of see us on that tipping point. Things are hinky, but not outright scary or dangerous right now. So I can afford to look at Allie and be like, ugh, doom omen. But I think as soon as things start getting scary, like, Z's the only one that actually understands what's going on. Like, we're in this together, and the rest of these people are probably the idiots that are going to die off because it's our movie, right?
So it comes to you then, the choice, Alex. Would you like for you to be possessed, at which time I'll take over narrative? Or would you like to have someone else here in the scene get possessed, and you will take narrative, keeping in mind, as we all know, our ghost wants to cause tensions to where you start killing each other.
Oh. You know what? I think I wanna take over an NPC.
Oh, I don't blame you. So, what's it look like? Narrate our scene as the ghost grabs hold of someone.
Oh. I think we see this, like, ephemeral spirit from the backdrop, like, slightly off stage, looking at Allie. And as Allie does this, like, massive pirouette twirl, the ghost spots, like, in slow motion, the name Renee on the notepad. And just, like, sidles on over. And as we see Renee watching out over all of the actors and actresses and musical people, she just, like, starts grinning maniacally.
Oh, fantastic. So I think that will answer your question. I think to answer your question, Allie did not cause this, but something here likes Allie. As Renee, smiling across at the company, says, "It amazes me that all of you have 2 left feet when Allie here is so clearly capable beyond anything you can do. If I had dozen Allies, well then, I suppose I wouldn't have you." And
Can I call you on that?
looking back over with a smile, "Absolutely. Maybe we can even talk about who the worst of them are." And you could see, there's a little rumble amongst the actors, like, "Holy crap, what a bitch," sort of things. As rehearsal continues on, I'm gonna do a little bit of a time move through here as we discover, like, the reporters trying to get out of these doors are finding they can't shove them open, and even if they did, outside there is no visibility. It is storming down hard. We have rehearsed this scene for 15, 30 minutes worth of time here, and there's called 5 as Renee kind of throws her thing down. "I need a drink," and has stormed off towards the bar in the antechamber, the little vestibule, wherever they come in. The entryway. She plans to raid the bar. Tony. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yes. Tony, is that right? No. Ben. Tony is just my go-to mobster name.
I could be Tony if you wanted, sure. But no, my name is Ben.
Ben, you're hearing the other actors kind of complaining as Take 5's call. What are you up to?
I'm congratulating Will because he's getting better. He hit almost all the notes this time. And I look like I think this is a genuine compliment. I'm smiling a lot. It's not a compliment. It doesn't come across well.
This time, every time, I am amazing at everything I do.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna take the advantage of this break to wander off to the bar myself, I think.
As you head up there, you see that, first off, most of the reporters are ended up there. If reporters could find anything, it's liquor. And you see that now that many of them are stuck here, they're going ahead and hitting the booze. Jerry is kind of flustered that he can't get out, but has taken the time at least to accumulate about 7 bottles of Absolute, mini bottles of Absolute, and is sitting there discussing, there's a storm and I could be out there in it. I could be like those Weather Channel guys. Oh, that would get me on national news. Laura, are you out there?
Yeah, I think I was, because I wanted to interview Renee, so I was going to follow her over as well. But if everyone else is already there, yeah, even.
She's stormed over, and you see she's grabbed a bottle of Chardonnay, and she's got like a big old styrofoam cup. She's poured half the bottle in. And looking at her, I mean, you saw her be so angry, kind of mean. But now she's kind of shaken, and she looks pale. She looks almost a little upset. Do you wish to go up and speak with her?
Yeah. I think I've grabbed one of the bottles of Absolute and just say like, why are you even bothering with a cup?
I guess propriety, but styrofoam, really? You may have a point. She grabs the bottle and just actually takes a swig out of it. I had such high hopes for everything, and I just don't know what came over me.
Yeah, I can tell. I mean, but you only get so worked up about things you care about. But it sounds like you've got some stuff you want to lay out about the cast members. And that you don't mind being on record, which is interesting.
She looks a little guilty as she says, well, I may have been speaking out of turn. I know they're trying their best.
It's fine by me. I mean, I have no dogs in this race. Not really. But anything else you want to get off your chest?
Would you like to manipulate someone?
Absolutely.
All right, roll with charm there.
That is a 10.
Ooh, fantastic. So with 10 plus, they'll do it for you. You're wanting to get her to kind of lay out what's going on, why she's seeing
unburden herself to me.
Excellent. Normally I don't really explode like that. It's just, and she will actually name some people real quick who are just terrible. And you've heard them. They are just terrible. But it's not like that same vitriol that she was doing with the, oh, you awful. It's more of her, going, that I know Steve can't dance, and oh, Ben, his voice is, well, his father's paying for all of our props.
All of it? Huh.
Well, it was a considerable donation.
Is that why he's here?
He is a multifaceted talent.
Of course. I understand.
But it's not like me to blow up like that. Do you know who Maria Callas is?
Do I?
Possibly. A famous opera singer.
Oh, if I'm on the music circuit, then yeah.
Yeah, extremely famous opera singer from the 40s, 50s. She says, I'm not even really an opera fan. But all of a sudden, all I could imagine was, what would Maria do if she saw this cast? Why would Maria ever want to perform here? It's all I could think of. It made me so angry.
Well, you know she's dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously.
Okay.
It just made no sense.
Why don't you have another drink? Just sit here for a bit. Like, it seems people are kind of congregating here. Like, we're gonna be stuck here for a while. So, don't worry about this too much. There's time. Just have a drink, relax.
Thank you. For a member of the press, you're awfully sweet.
Well, I have to cultivate relationships with everyone. That's how I get my stories. Not that that's all you are, of course. I do enjoy the music. That's why I picked this. But
Well, Max is an amazing conductor. And as she says this, she reaches over, she grabs that bottle and takes another slug. And for the first time, you notice there's all this gray hair that you would swear you didn't see before. And her hand, wrinkled, the veins very prominent. As with a slight tremor, she drinks from the bottle.
I just kind of shake my head and blink. Is it gone?
No.
Look down at my unopened bottle of vodka. I'm going to take my own advice.
Ben, you've come up to the bar. You see, there's Laura talking with Renee. You see the other bits of the press corps around. What are you doing as you come up?
I come up saying, hello. I chatted nicely with people, grabbing myself a bottle of, probably not vodka. I'm going to go for like cheap whiskey or something. Just be different. And flashing Renee a great big I own you smile as I go to chatting with reporters who obviously want to talk to me. Oh no, my volume. Crap.
It is doing its thing. Curses. As you head over to the reporters, some of them are at least, well, almost all of them are aware of your importance in the real scene of Cincinnati, and very respectfully are asking, "Are you enjoying the performance? Can we get a statement?" That sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I am. Fucking volume. I am very willing to spin a story about how I always aspired to be on the stage, and it's just great to get out there and sing and dance like everyone wants to. And the cast is so nice, and I've met so many great people, and yeah, I've tried to make as good an interview subject as I can.
Excellent. All right. Are you trying to trigger something? Maybe? Are you trying to investigate something going on, or is this more like glad handing and getting your rep up?
I was thinking glad handing, but sure, why don't I investigate with my glad handing?
Okay, you certainly can. Why don't we roll sharp?
I'm actually surprisingly sharp, I think. Oh, well, +1. That's still surprising to me. That's a 10.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm real good at talking to reporters.
You get to hold 2. And I will place this as it's a hold 2. So amongst this journalist pool of, a dozen or so all around people, you can pull out information. Is there anything you'd like to ask to start with? Or you want to hold them?
This is the investigate a mystery question?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, cool. I think I am going to try to work out what is being concealed here by chatting with them, because I know a bit of it, but I don't know the whole story. I like to know the whole story.
Ooh, all right. You begin to get the impression that, first off, the reason so much press is showing up is your dad is very interested that, this plays successful, that you get the accolades you deserve. This is what his dear sonny boy is wanting to do. But along with that is there's rumors that some of the money going through the theater may be coming from less than reputable sources. There might be a laundering funds sort of thing happening here with the theater.
I am shocked and managed to portray that with the most scenery chewing shock that I can possibly do, because I do not have charm.
And they're all like, it's with hints and little nods. They're sort of saying this sort of thing, but you see one of them when he, when this is going on, he looks over at one of the, from the Cincinnati Picayune or whatever local paper. He looks over at him and he says, "Can't believe you would fucking say that. Right here in front of him. You have no respect. Fucking asshole." And he starts walking away. And the one you were talking to that he had just said this to, his eyebrows drop and his color gets high and red. Says, "Fuck you, bastard!" and picks up one of the bottles of wine and smacks him in the back of the head.
Well, hey now, there's no need for that, I say, as someone is clubbed with a wine bottle in front of me.
Wine flows as this guy collapses down. The other guy's, pulling him off. Like, "Did you hear what he said to me? You should have some respect, you asshole." And that guy, he's like, "He fucking hit me. He just fucking hit me."
I'm going to look over to Laura and say, journalism is certainly a cutthroat business.
Yeah, no kidding. As I rush over to help and stop this.
And there's a big as people are pulling them apart. That guy's bleeding. They're trying to cover him up.
Yeah, like these are my colleagues.
Meanwhile, back up towards the stage, Allie and Will. Will, you're hearing, some muttering amongst these actors who are kind of pissed off that Allie's got this attention, that clearly Renee has a favorite. What are you doing?
I think I've snuck off. There's like a backstage bathroom that I've gone in, pulled over a trash can, and got up on top of it, unplugged the smoke detector. And so he's just in there smoking nervously, sort of furiously on a cigarette, and just sort of muttering to himself like, Allie shows up. Of course there's a snowstorm. Why wouldn't there be a snowstorm? Because Allie's here. But no, this is not like last time, and he's staring at himself in the mirror and the sort of thing of this is normal. This is fine. You can handle this. This is all just everything's good, and this is not crazy and weird, right? Right.
As you're looking in the mirror, and having this conversation with yourself, would you mind rolling a possession roll?
What? No, that's. I was comforting myself, not ghosts. What are you talking about?
Ghost?
No, just the normal kind.
Oh, I gotcha.
And so it's what, weird or
Weird or cool?
I think I'm clawing desperately at the edges of cool, but let's see if I can get there. That's a 6.
Oh, fantastic. Would you like someone else to be possessed, or you?
I think it'd be interesting to see what he wakes up to, what sort of trouble the ghost makes for him.
Excellent. And so as you're staring at yourself talking, no time seems to pass before, Allie, up on stage, you're kind of getting the cold shoulder a little bit from some of these actors. How are you reacting to this?
I think Allie is definitely on the high horse with, like, now that Renee's gone and, like, people are just buggering off, I've got to keep them together. Like, I've got to show them how it's done. And so the guy is getting more and more frustrated, being like, step, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. It's that simple.
Excellent. So you're trying to keep them rehearsing.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful. And so some of them are kind of, fine, Allie, and you know, they're working with some of the others are like, screw that, and grumbling and heading off stage. And so as you're kind of working with the ones that stay, some of them may be a little bit kind of sucking up to you. Kind of, you're the one who's doing well. So they're like, oh, Allie, oh, yes, if I just could get it down like you do, then everybody be, you know, I'd be as good as you. And it's about that time that you hear from out in the wings a guy going, hey, what are you doing? What the? Put that.
Oh my goodness. I think hearing this, Allie remembers, oh crap, I'm here to investigate something. And will run towards the noise.
Excellent. As you run over there, some of these other actors are coming with you too. And over in the wings, where the ropes are there for the curtains and for the drops, you see a man. You know, it's kind of his form. The lights are behind you, so your shadow, you see him standing there. Something seems wrong, and as you get closer, and you can see better, he's somehow gotten tangled up in those drop lines. One of them is wrapped around his neck. That's not a natural angle for a head. And that's where I think we're going to take our break. So I think we'll take, let's take 5-6 minutes. We'll come back at 9:31. I am going to give us a little song if you'd like to have during the intermission here. I'll be adding that into chat. There we are. And we'll be back in just a few minutes. For those of you at home, that intermission music was Ella Fitzgerald's version of Got You Under My Skin. Love me some Ella. We also seem to have lost Alex. I'm hoping that will be fixed shortly.
The ghost got them already.
We'll continue a little and hope that Alex will be back with us shortly. Let me make sure. Hang on, I got a little something in Slack, but it's not from Alex. So, okay. Hopefully we'll see Alex in a moment or two. I'm gonna go with you, Will, as you were looking at yourself in the mirror, but suddenly that's not where you are. You're in one of the costume rooms. You see that someone has ripped the front of your costume. Like someone grabbed it and yanked. And with you is Bex, the conductor. He's going, "Are you all right? Are you all right?"
What? I'm fine. I'm holding myself together fine. Why do you? Who are you? Where am I?
I saw what you did.
But I didn't. Look, I know the building codes say that we're not supposed to smoke inside, but I just unplugged it for a minute because, it's really stressful and I can't go out on the loading dock. And every time I try and find a new corner to smoke in, just like, burr, 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 fire alarm. It's really a headache.
Smoking? No. You killed that man.
What? No. What?
I know he wasn't talented. He probably deserved it.
Wait, that man, it wasn't Steve.
Yes.
What? Oh, that's terrible. You mean Steve's not going to be able to perform his lead part, and they'll have to... That is awful. How sad people will be.
You did the right thing for the production. The show is what's important, he says as he touches you on the shoulder and leans in.
Wait, okay, to be clear, I did not kill Steve.
Oh, yes, you did.
No, I really didn't. It's horribly, horribly sad that he's dead, but no.
Oh, I understand. No, of course you did.
I'm not doing a thing here. This is not a bit. I did not kill Steve.
Well, I mean, I watched you.
But no, I was smoking in the... Where? By the way, how did I even get here? Did you drug me? Are you covering up your own crime? You killed Steve.
I most certainly did not. I mean,
you definitely killed Steve. This is what someone... There's like a needle mark on my neck and you injected me with something. Now I can't remember and you wake me up and you say, you killed Steve. And
you're talking crazy.
Memory in my brain.
Was simply a murder.
You pushed Steve off. Well, how did Steve... What is happening? I can't... Do you hear that ringing?
Breathe. Just breathe.
Everything's really, sparkly.
I understand.
I don't feel very good.
It's just the butterflies.
Did Steve kill butterflies too?
Well, let's say that he did not have a lucky break.
Is this like a line you would wink after?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
But only I saw it. And he was a talentless hack.
That's great, but I still didn't... I'm okay with keeping quiet that you killed Steve if you just don't go around yelling at people that I killed Steve. Because I didn't kill Steve.
I will tell no one that you killed Steve. But you killed Steve.
I feel like we're having a fundamental misunderstanding here, but I feel like we've opened a dialogue that we can carry forward into a further sort of communal. You don't care about any of this, do you?
Let me give you something that may help. And he reaches inside of, he's got the tails on. He's the conductor. He reaches in and brings out a rather large knife.
What is happening?
He says, "Here, you may need this."
Why do you have this this seems like a very large knife to not have either in a display case or maybe like hunting lions in a loincloth?
Because I think, and he turns around and heads towards the door, throws back over his shoulder, we know that theater is a cutthroat business.
Really? I am on the edge of an emotional and nervous breakdown, and you add an extra 2 minutes into this whole torture for a prop joke?
He heads out the door. Allie, you, walking up there, find that Steve, the lead, is dead. You could see clutched in his hand is a piece of cloth. The other actors with you are, screaming and going crazy because this guy's dead. But you might have a little more moxie than them. What are you doing?
I can see Allie just like eyes glossed over, like, oh no. And Allie will walk up and inspect the cloth, try and pry it from Steve's hands.
Why don't we have you investigate a mystery?
Yeah, let's do it.
Roll with sharp, please. And if you have any, I don't know if the meddling kid has a bonusy thing for that or not.
I do not.
Okay.
If you question somebody while you're investigating the mystery, you do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you killed the person I was going to investigate, so...
There's the other actors around you.
This is
But
true.
yeah, you may not want to do that. That's fine.
Question the corpse.
Tell me what you know.
That is a 7.
All right. So you're going to get one question. Do you see the investigative mystery questions?
I do. Oh. Questions. Let's go for it. What happened here?
Good question. As you're looking over, you can see first off that Steve probably was shoved into this roping rig. As he fell back into it, someone pulled one of the pins so that the rope let out. A sandbag moved, and that caught his neck and broke his neck, killing him instantly. But before he was shoved, he grabbed hold of whoever did this, apparently, because in his hand is a piece of costume. And you recognize that costume. That's Will's costume.
All coming together. I didn't think it could be true, but
we're gonna hop over to as the reporters have sort of pulled each other apart, and in the kind of scrum of what's going on, there's kind of two camps that the ones of "you're crazy, I can't believe you hit him," and the people that are trying to bandage him up, and the other guy who's going, I'm not going to be disrespected by you. You're not even in a daily. You're a freaking weekly. Tony, what you doing?
How dare you give away my real name? I'm Ben. I've only ever been Ben Dorsey. Ben is sitting in the back,
Tony Dorsey,
like in the corner of this shot. Just, oh my goodness. Apologies, my volume spiked. Google, why do you hate me? Why won't you let me use my usual tricks to make my volume stop? Yeah, it's Tony Ben. Don't call me Ben Dorsey. Dorsey McCrime, according to Alex, and that is my real name. And I would expect you all to use it correctly at all times. Anyway, he's in the corner of this shot, drinking from his bottle of whiskey. He's probably got a glass, but also the bottle. So the glass is really just kind of a formality, but you got to do things properly. Watching, and he looks that same degree of a little too delighted by everything. Because he's never seen a journalism fight, but apparently journalism's where all the cool fights are.
Laura, you're sitting there. Well,
oh no,
you're brushed over to the guy that got hit. What are you doing?
Yeah, I think I turned to the guy who actually smashed the bottle over his head, and I'm just in his face, are you drunk right now?
And he's just livid. And I think, you there in his face, you're feeling angry. It's roiling up in you too. I'd like for you to act under pressure to avoid actually hitting him.
Well, that is an 11, plus or minus something.
Oh, that's fantastic. So,
12.
So I think you recognize there's something odd about what's going on here. This is not normal even for the most rowdy of journalist pools. And you feel this sort of anger that's inside of you. You're not sure where it's coming from. And this guy is he is frothing at the mouth. He's so mad. They're barely holding him back, especially with you here in his face. And you're hearing, these guys come on, man. That's just Laura. What are you doing?
I take a step back and just trying to hold down that anger in myself too, now that I can feel it as a separate thing. And just look at him. I think I want to investigate here.
Alrighty. Let's roll with Sharp.
That is a 6.
Y'all may end up getting a level out of this one shot. Ryan, you happen to be there. Does Ben do anything to help? You're seeing this going on. You doing anything to help or hinder?
I think I'm doing something which is probably not helpful, but I'm trying to be helpful. I'm just going to put a hand on Laura's shoulder whoa, hey now, you don't need to be in his face about this. And I'm probably making it worse.
It's distracting when I'm trying to focus on this.
Yeah, and when you're trying to focus on not flipping out and punching people, too, I'm sure. So, oh no, I have to roll plus cool to be unhelpful.
You do.
Oh, come on. No, stop. Why? So, that's an 11.
Oh, fantastic. You feel Ben there as, maybe it's kind of comforting, or maybe it just centers you. But regardless,
something about his weirdly chipper voice makes you want to investigate this mystery.
You get a moment there of clarity. What would you like to ask?
What can it do? Because I have an inkling already, but I want to know what else.
You can see in this guy's eyes that, you know him. You know this person. We'll call him Cliff. Cliff covers like food, the food column. He handles cultural stuff. The worst you've ever heard him say was someone was uncouth. The fact he did this is insane. And in his eyes, I mean, it's like it's not him, but you can also feel this oppressive anger. Something is causing these people to be angry. Something is influencing them. Maybe it's the booze. But this is awfully quick for bar fight mode. Something is ramping up the tension here.
I think I turn to Ben and just kind of like brush your hand off, like, why are you touching me? And I just say, like, that's Cliff. That's not him. Like this is so far beyond like the pale for most of these guys. These aren't like crime beat people. They're music and food.
I'm going to spend my remaining investigative mystery hold to ask a question to which I probably already know the answer with what was it going to do? Because I assume the answer was, like, murder people.
As you look at this guy, there's this moment like a flash that you realize in his pocket, he has with him his fork and knife he takes to every restaurant. He only eats with his own utensils. He was about to take that knife out and probably slash at Laura before he dove over there to try and kill that man he just hit with a bottle.
Yeah, so I know you know he's on the food beat, but you might want to watch out for his utensils. Looks like he was about to take a slice right out of you.
And I kind of like, okay, no. And turn back to Cliff and I'm like, Cliff, just calm down.
I'm going to have you roll a protect someone.
Okay.
That's with tough. As you kind of, get in right there with him and you're really looking at him and his eyes that you would swear they're trying to focus on you, but something is controlling him.
That is a 3.
Oh my goodness. Mm. You see his eyes focus in right at you, look you dead in the face. Maria Callas would have never eaten here. She'd have never come to a dump like this. And as he says it, you can see the veins bursting in his eyes. His face shrinks down and grows hollow. His beard, white, just turns white in front of you. So he goes, clutching his heart. He collapses to the ground.
I'd say, oh my God, and like lean back, probably right into bed. And then like step forward again.
The journalists are, the kind of slackness of it. They kind of, and they're holding him, supporting him. And one of them goes, holy fuck. He looks like he's 90.
I look over at Renee.
Renee, her eyes are wide. Slowly, she brings up the bottle and drinks. She looks freaked the fuck out. But as you look over towards her, behind her, you see Grady. And he looks He looks scared, but there's like a look of recognition. Like he sees something he knows. And as he looks at the body, it kind of catches your eye. He moves back away from the bar and towards the wings, looking back over his shoulder at you.
I am going to follow him.
Tony, what are you doing?
I'm gonna follow her, following him.
Excellent. Will, you've been left there alone in the prop room, or in the costume room. What are you doing?
I'm like standing there shaking just for a moment, like muttering to myself, it's just like last time. It's just like last time. And I go out of this room and sort of stalking through the back like ways and sort of passages of the theater. I've got like a cigarette lit in one hand, and I think he doesn't even remember that he's still got this like giant dagger in his hand. And I'm looking for Allie. So I like the idea of running across Allie in like a crossway sort of behind the stage, and like I'm just exhaling this cloud of smoke, and there's this backlighting on him, and all you can really see is like the glint of light in his big crazy eyes as he like holds up dramatically, because he's an actor to his bone, and if he has a prop he's going to use it, holds up the knife dramatically to point at you and say, Allie, I've been looking for you.
Allie, what do you do?
I immediately whip out the camera and take a quick shot.
Ow! Oh, God, ow! Oh, it's really dark back here. Why did you do that?
I've been looking for you too, Will. And Allie will hold out the cloth accusatorily.
It's happening again. It's like last time. There's something here.
Yes, you're here.
What?
You think I didn't connect the dots? You were there that time. You're here now. A dead person was holding your costume.
Okay, first of all, you're stealing my speeches before I even built up to them, and I think that's really, just speaking as an actor, that's really rude and stepping on my part. And I just need you to respect that we are two professionals in this industry, and those were
we all
my
know who the star is here.
No,
Was it? Sorry.
Those were my dramatic lines. And besides, I mean, this is just like last time. Remember? Fell from the rafters, hung in the ropes. I mean, come on. I have a giant knife. Why would I hang him?
Well.
Okay. I know that sounded bad. And I just want to reiterate that, like I said, this knife, it's not mine. It's there's a crazy old man in the wings, and he has some weird stories about stuff, but I'm pretty sure he killed Steve.
So then why was Steve holding your costume?
He what now?
He was holding a piece of your costume. He had been shoved into some wires, and he grabbed something off of the attacker. This.
Look, costumes and planted evidence, that's not what we need to pay attention to right now. There's a ghost around here, and we both know what happened. Theater ghosts, they're awful. They're really bad. And this was all really scary last time, and I barely made it out alive. And I've used that to fuel a lot of my parts going forward, and people say that I have this like dark intensity about me. Like I have a clipping in the I'll show you sometime if we live through this. It's they're really like glowing about it. They said brooding, they said. But this is, oh God, this is okay. We have to, oh God, there's a ghost.
Mm-hmm. A theater ghost. Planting evidence on corpses. Specifically, the lead actor's corpse. who you're an understudy for, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, yes. I mean, thank you. It's I feel it's a little premature. You wait for the official chat, but thank you. I appreciate your congratulations. But that's not the point. Look, I know what's happening. This is happening just like it did last time. And if things are happening just like they did last time, then, and I'd like to spend my second hold for my connect the dots. When and where will the next critical event occur?
Ooh, that's a lovely question. The next critical event. The next critical event is going to happen down in the prop room in the hell underneath the stage.
Curses mute.
And you, I mean, it's popping into you because that's where Max went. Something tells you where Max is going. That's going to be the next big thing.
It's the prop room. Remember, it's the rigging, and then it's the prop room. Look, we can go. You'll see something is going to happen there. It's not me. I'll stay right here. Look. You can have the giant knife.
I'll grab the knife.
Please. Oh, okay. I wish I'd prefaced that with this, but please don't stab me with the giant knife.
Well, we've been through some shit together, and I want to believe you, but I'm not letting you out of my sight.
That's not a yes, Will. I won't stab you with this knife.
A conditional yes.
Okay.
If I don't
good.
see you doing anything bad, and I'm going to be watching you like a hawk, then I don't stab you with the knife. Good?
I'm still really uncomfortable with the amount of potential stabbing of me that's in this whole scenario. But if you watch me and also watch the evidence like a hawk that is looking in two different directions, then yes.
I mean, they've got like eyes on both sides of their face, right? So you figure.
Yeah, they have like a really wide range of vision. They're actually good at seeing things like far away. So hopefully you'll be able to spot the thing like a hawk from like far away before we get near it.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. Let's go.
As the two of you begin setting off, above you, you can hear noise, people's voices, but you begin heading down the corridor and down the stairs, heading underneath the stage. I'm noticing that the camera doesn't seem to be shifting. If I don't, are y'all noticing the camera shift at all?
Are you clicked on Ryan right now?
I am not.
Huh.
It's not shifting for me either. The camera loves Patrick.
Oh. It's shifting for me.
Yeah, shifting for me, fine.
It loves me for my camera. I've been actually clicking on people as they talk to try and start moving it again, but that's not been working. So folks at home, I will try and do a little directing as I go, but we'll see. It's an odd little bug I haven't seen before at this. All right, the two of you head down the stairs. While upstairs, Ben and Laura, yes, begin following Grady away from this. I mean, people are kind of freaking out. The guy that's gotten hit, being bandaged up, and poor Cliff, yeah, people are like, oh my God. And as you follow Grady, he kind of goes around a corner into the big, huge kind of dining room set they have. There's tables. You can see where the kitchen is off to the side. And they have these massive windows. They're completely whited out with the snow. And even though you know the seals, the bottoms of these windows are about 4 feet off the ground, there's snow that's now piled up about a foot around the edges of the windows. Grady looks and this is bad.
You didn't bring us here to talk about the snow, did you? Because we know about that.
No, Miss Seegers.
Okay.
Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
He looks over at you, Ben. How about you?
No, but I have a feeling you're about to tell me about one.
Theaters collect ghosts. It's just something that happens. People are getting mad. There ain't much reason for it. This has happened before.
People dying.
Yeah. It was 1968. We were putting on hair. It was, supposed to be a chance to make a little extra money for the theater. Rumors were some of the actors were going to get all naked. It was quite the scandal. Apparently, in the middle of rehearsals, there was a problem in the theater. Some of the sets fell. The actors, they got caught up on stage. Couldn't find their way out. I was just an usher at the time. There was no way they should have been stuck there. I mean, you could find your way off the stage. They stayed all night, said they couldn't find their way out. By morning, 6 of them were dead. Jealousy. Lovers cheating. Someone even began telling your mama jokes, and it got out of hand. It's the theater ghost. It's Chester Van Truppen.
Sorry, can you spell that?
Certainly. And he will. Chester Van Truppen. He was the greatest tenor in Cincinnati history. 1947, he sang, and it brought tears to people's eyes. I was just a chap then. Just a chap. But I remember it. It was beautiful. And a good man. Sang in the choir at church. Said that his gifts came from the Lord. And then he lost his voice. Rumor is a rival, but something in his drink. I don't know. But I'll tell you this. Maria Callas refused to come.
A lot of people have been mentioning her recently.
She was set to come here to the auditorium. She was set here to come and sing. She was going to sing a duet. She heard he couldn't sing anymore. She went straight to Chicago. Didn't even stop, didn't even get off of the train. Well, Chester didn't come back from it. I never knew what happened to him, and no one does. But they say you can still hear him singing. And he still can't hit that note. It's him. He's angry. He thinks the theater's being used badly. And he kind of cuts his eyes over towards Ben. He never liked people who got ahead without talent.
And just grins. I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
Miss Seegers, find a place. Hole up. The snow's gotta melt sometime, ain't it?
If it stays cold, they'll have to dig us out. Something's... People are just getting mad out there. You saw it. What's his name? Cliff just smashed a bottle over some guy's head, and that's... It's not ghosts, because that's crazy.
Did you see how old he looked? They say one of the girls from Hare, 23. But when they found her, her hair was snow white.
Okay, it must have been the stress of all of this.
Certainly, stress. I gave you my advice. I'm gonna find a place. Ain't nobody gonna be able to get to me.
Well, I reckon we gotta stick together. Safety in numbers and all that.
He looks at you, and if you wish to find a spot, Mr. Dorsey, well, I can suggest a few.
Yeah, look, you want to stick with this guy? Go for it. I'm gonna head back.
All right, Ben, you stick with Grady.
No, I mean, he just told me where to stick it, almost quite literally. So
he was gonna give you a spot to hide in.
Nope. I know what he was talking about. It wasn't polite. So I'm gonna shrug. Because, fine, whatever. And I'll head off in a different direction because Laura wants to go hide on her own. I know when I'm not wanted.
Well, I mean, this guy insulted you. I wouldn't mind you rolling me keep your cool.
That's a very good point.
Act under pressure, sorry. But roll with cool.
So that's a 5, and I mark experience.
I wanna. Can I help? Would that do anything? Or is it only one below?
Yeah, I don't think you can. It won't give enough. Ben, I'm gonna give you an option here. Grady's gonna head off somewhere he feels like he's safe. No one will be around. You can go off behind him and teach him a lesson. Or you can take 2 harm as you shake off this influence.
Yeah, so I think Ben follows along behind him, at a decent distance until this guy finds a nice hiding spot. And with that same two-chipper voice is just like, well, seems like maybe we need to have a conversation.
Sure, I didn't know you were following me.
Because there's some things that I know, and it seems you know, that I like not getting out about myself. And you don't seem to have much discretion or much respect.
He stammers. Is your intent to do him bodily damage, or do you wish to intimidate something out of him?
I think it started as intimidate, but sometimes you gotta tie up your own loose ends.
We're going to slide away from the sounds of Grady getting what he deserves. Over to you, Laura, as you're walking off. I believe you were trying to trigger a move, right?
Yeah. Well, it says specifically somewhere or something scary. So point me in a scary direction and I will go there.
Okay. As you kind of
Maybe I
Grady's
get lost.
I like that too. That's sort of my thought. As Grady goes off this way, and Ben kind of you see moving this way, and you've turned and moved away. You're kind of getting, you didn't want to go back straight to the bar, so you kind of moved towards, the kitchen area. And as you begin moving through the hallways there's like storerooms, and you could see where there's the administrative areas. But it takes you further back to where it's obviously heading back towards the stage area. But, probably where they take food off to people's dressing rooms. You can only imagine that, because now you're starting to see some doors off the sides. They have names on them. These nameplates look very old, though. And one of these doors, is open. From inside, you can hear low, but still distinctive, the sound of, is that Mozart, perhaps?
I open the door and I'm going to, if this is a dangerous situation, mark to hold. What could go wrong?
It is, so you do. As you push open the door, the hallway behind you, there's like voices. But you see no people. The lights, though, are dimmer. And the voices are, oh, it's time to get on stage. 5 minutes, Mr. DeMille. Noise is out. But as you open up this door, inside, you see the mirrored table, makeup on it. You see an oriental, or one of the dividers, where they have that sort of thing. I can't remember exactly what it's called.
A silk screen.
Yes, there we go. With some clothes tossed over the side. Mozart playing on a gramophone. And behind the divider there, you could hear a low voice singing. Along with Figaro, you think. Just as it's going up towards one of the higher notes, the voice cracks. Damn, damn, damn. And the shadow behind, through the screen, grows larger. What do you do?
You okay?
Shadow begins to move around the corner. A fan, I presume. And as the figure steps around, would you mind rolling me a possession roll, please?
I would not at all. And yeah.
Cool or weird?
Weird seems better here. Or more applicable, which is A 7.
Excellent. With a 7, you get your options.
Oh, wait,
there.
sorry. I actually have not filled out all of my stats yet.
Oh, dearie dear.
Hmm. We can cut away and come back.
Okay,
while I
we'll
do
come
this.
back. We'll come back as the figure moves around the screen, and in tension we go, oh no, what's going to happen? As we have Allie and Will heading down deeper into the guts of the theater. You pass through rooms where there are props, and these are decent sized rooms. So these are the flies, the things that can come in as scenery. You move through past where perhaps you both have gone and seen people working on the set. It's got that smell of sawdust and paint. Yes.
I was just gonna say, since we know like when it's gonna happen, I was wondering, Allie has that cool "it's a trap" move, and I think like in theater storage with all this stuff might be a neat place to try that.
What you think, Allie?
Oh yeah, totally. If we can get to the prop room before anyone else is there, you're like, just in case. Just in case. I'm not saying I believe you, but I'll set something up.
All right, so it's a trap. When you make a trap to capture a monster or minion, roll sharp.
Alrighty. Can't tell if my dice have changed, sorry.
It's all right.
Some new ones.
They're supposed to spin now if they actually change.
Oh, right. That is a 7.
All right, so on 7, you get you can capture something.
Nice.
Excellent. Okay, I'm looking through the move. You choose one extra effect. Okay, so you will capture something. So, what does this little trap look like? What do you put together?
Oh, that is a good question.
In the prop room, you got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Oh. I think it's got to be like one of those trapdoor things. And then we'll get like a prop cage to fall down on top of them. We'll like tie together some pirate flags to make the rope.
Awesome.
And like a big wooden sign with like jail painted on it on the front of it, just so you all know what it is.
Wonderful. And so you get this set up kind of towards the back of the room, because you can see where there's a hallway kind of going down that direction. And as you're putting this together, you begin to hear a voice from down that hallway. Will, you recognize Max for sure. I mean, you just heard him. And he's going, "You will sing again. Do not doubt it. I am putting everything together."
And I'm definitely doing the like shh, like motioning Allie over here, hide, watch.
And Allie's like crouching down with the camera ready. Probably got like some like greenery draped over as like a faux ghillie suit.
Maestro, I shall bring another very soon. And you see coming down that hallway a figure who, as he exits the hallway, sort of trips over some tied up pirate flags, and suddenly, woof, woof, what? What is this? as you backs there inside of the cage. And you see, as he, sort of flustered, a gun falls out of his pocket and lands there in the cage with him. But he's looking around. What do you do, Allie?
Oh my goodness. He's got a gun. We've got to get that gun away from him. Can I, try and run up and grab it?
You certainly can. I think that sounds like an act under pressure.
Nice.
So roll with cool.
Oh, I'm so bad at that.
Oh no, we've trapped him in a protective shell with a weapon.
This is the one with any kind of weapon but a knife.
Shh, what? Where?
So that is 7 minus, cool, right? Minus 1 is 6. Yeah.
I would definitely try and help Allie out.
Why don't we, how are you helping?
I'm just stumbling through my jacket pockets, and I pull out, I have just from where I'd picked it up somewhere here in a theater, but I have one of those giant mag lights for ushering people down the aisle. And I shine it in his eyes there in the middle of the cage and try and dazzle him while he's reaching for the gun.
Oh, the lighting is so bright. Roll and see if it stops him.
And is that cool?
It is cool. It's super cool.
It's so cool, man. Ooh, that's a 10.
Oh, fantastic. Takes you to a 7 with your act under pressure, so I'm going to give you a choice here. You can run over there and get the gun, pulling it out of the cage. But that's probably going to put you in, well, it's definitely going to put you in range of him trying to grab you or do something to you. Or you could rush by him down that hallway he just came out of and leave poor Will here to meet his fate. And definitely be out of any line of sight for this guy.
I mean, that is very tempting. But me and Will, we're hawks. And hawks don't turn their backs on each other. I'll go for the gun.
You dive forward to the gun, and he kind of rears back as the light hits him in the eye, and you reach down, you grab the gun before he can react. But he, seeing perhaps the motion, stomps down hard on your hand as you're withdrawing the gun. He's going to do 2 damage to you, 2 harm to you, as he really puts the hurt on with his... He has those hard sole conductor shoes so he can tap out rhythm. And he slams it right into your wrist.
Fucking ow.
What are you doing? You shouldn't be here.
What are you doing? You shouldn't be here.
Yeah, you were wandering through the halls of a theater talking about music and a maestro and finding the perfect one. I mean, unless we're putting on a production of Phantom next week, you're definitely haunted by something.
I know nothing of a maestro.
What? You were just saying maestro.
I was
Who
not.
is the maestro?
He killed someone.
It was 30 seconds ago. Okay, once again, you killed someone.
I did not. It was him. He killed Steve.
And who's this maestro person? And are you trying to kidnap a soprano for him? Because that's really against the law.
I know nothing of what you're talking about.
Wait,
oh, come
you saw
on,
him kill
everybody's
Steve?
seen it. What? No, he's lying.
You killed Steve.
No, I definitely didn't kill Steve.
He definitely killed Steve.
Okay, this is the evil guy we've caught in a trap, and you're going to believe him? I'm out here. I gave you a giant knife. Which admittedly you gave me.
It's not my knife.
I don't know why you're going around giving people giant knives.
Only the one. That's all I had. And now they have my gun.
See, he's weaponless. We've caught the bad guy in a cage. He's confessed to something. I mean, detectives will figure that out at some point, probably.
I mean, he's confessed that you killed someone, but other than that, nothing much.
Okay, we talked about how we really can't trust this guy in a cage. He's super evil, and he was doing like straight up phantom monologues.
We put him in the cage. We are the ones that did this.
But okay, you cannot go all soft on me here. This is a ghost haunting. People are falling out of it is very dangerous in here.
You could give me my gun back.
Okay, definitely don't do that. Whatever your decision is, not that one.
Wait, why do you even have a gun? You're the conductor.
I mean, listen to him. He's German. He's obviously the bad guy.
I'm not German, I'm Hungarian.
I don't know. What, like a suburb of Germany?
I think we've all learned an important lesson here. But seriously, why did you have a gun?
Personal protection?
Okay, I don't want to belabor the point here, but you are definitely a bad guy, and I'm going to pull out my gun and point it at him. I'm going to need you to step off of their hand.
Everyone has guns now but me. That does not seem fair. He will have stepped back and kind of gone up against the edge of the cage.
And I'll again turn and dramatically point at Allie. See? See? I am helping.
All right, thank you. You're doing well so far.
I would like, Allie, for you to roll me a possession roll.
Yes.
Oh God, why?
Cool or weird?
It's cool or weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, -1 on both. That is a 7.
All right, you have your choices there. You can look like someone different, but still be yourself. You can be someone different. Let's see. Yourself, but in extreme emotion. Or you can take 2 harm and cast out this possession.
Oh. I feel like there's definitely an extreme emotion kind of scenario here.
I like it. What do you do?
I think Allie has the gun and the knife, and it's pointing one at each of them. It's like, how do I know you're not working in cahoots? You set this whole thing up, throwing each other under the bus, telling me you both killed Steve. I can't trust anyone here.
That is a very convoluted plan.
Really? Seems pretty simple to me.
I'm confused as to what the payoff is, but hey, you've got a lot of weapons, so I'm not really arguing with your read on the situation.
Well, you should shoot her.
What?
Then...
Why? No. Why should I shoot, sir? That is, I don't kill people. We've been through this.
You already have. It's the way to get to the top.
Okay, you see, this crazy Hungarian man is crazy in his head, whereas crazy is.
Really? Looks like it's finally showing his true colors. Working in cahoots with him.
What?
What was the plan? Were you gonna just hide the body?
I cannot make a plan out of your crazy nonsense. It was not a plan.
Oh, so he was the plan maker. Got it.
What? No. I mean, if it was between the two of us, I mean, I'm really good at plans. But I'm telling you, there's not a plan here.
I was just doing what he asked.
What? No, I didn't. No, I did not ask him to... Wait, no, I didn't ask you to do anything except leave me alone and stop giving me knives and stop saying that I didn't kill anyone.
Look, well, he gave you a knife, which you took and then used to threaten me.
Well,
Steve was holding your cloth. I need you to get in that cage.
No, I'm not getting in the cage. There's a crazy murdering German inside the cage.
Crazy murdering whatever you are outside.
Okay, again, not to belabor the point, but I also have a gun.
So you're threatening me now?
No, I'm not.
I see how it is.
I'm counter-threatening you. There's a threat, and I'm protecting myself from the threat, which is you.
Are you going to get in the cage, or are we going to have a problem?
Cut on this very dangerous looking standoff. As I believe, Sarah, we were with Laura there as you were setting up your move. Is that right?
Yeah, so with my proper stats in place, I got a 6. I would like to be possessed myself.
Excellent. You've come around. We've seen. So, we see this man step out from around the screen. He's handsome, but extremely pale. And you could see there is the marks, a cut goes all the way across his throat. As you look at him, you sort of fall into his eyes. I was going to sing with a goddess. Bring me a goddess to sing with. And that it sort of fades out until suddenly you find yourself standing with Laura Pallant in this hallway. You don't remember going to get her. She's sitting there going, I'm not sure why. You say this is the safest place for us to go? It's getting chilly in here.
Wait, sorry, what?
You asked me to come with you.
Where are we going?
You said that there were blankets and a heater.
Okay. But where's that?
She looks around and there's only one door open and a light coming from it. She says, well, I guess it's in here. Are you feeling all right? She'll kind of take her hand.
No. I'm fine. I'm fine. Blankets, heater, yeah.
Well, come on. And she moves around to that door, stepping in, and as you come around the corner, looking into it, it is as I described before, except you could see that it's though someone has like just thrown all of the makeups off the table there before the mirror, and there is the splatter of blood, old, dried, across the mirror and the wall. And as she goes in, she's like, what's happened here?
I want to like grab the back of her shirt and say, actually, I don't think this is a good idea. Let's go now, please.
As you grab her and begin pulling her back, a rustling occurs behind the screen.
Oh, God.
And begins moving out from it. She's like, there's someone in here.
Okay, let's go. Come on.
As you pull her back and are pulling around the wall, a figure steps out. Blood covering the front of his costume. Looks like maybe Figaro. Sunken, rotting flesh of his face. My goddess, sing. As he reaches out. You pull her around the corner. And as she looks at you, she begins to sing.
Oh, stop that.
Do you wish to try and stop her?
I think I just turn and say it at her. It's like waving my hand toward her mouth.
We'll let you do it to manipulate someone. Let's see if you can pull her out of this.
7 plus charm, is it?
Yep.
9.
Excellent. She stops singing, and you could begin to hear the first notes of the Figaro aria coming from her. And she stops. We have to sing something else. Sing with me. Sing with me.
I can't sing.
Everyone can sing. Amazing grace. How sweet the sound. Will you sing with her?
That saved a wretch like me.
That shadow comes into the door, but as your voices raise, you hear it. Ow! No! No! And the room goes dark. And this hallway seems to change around you. The names on the doors are different. The lighting becomes electric. That open door behind you, you can see, has on it Steve's name. This was his dressing room. As the two of you flee, singing the old hymn together. Ben. What's left of Grady when you're done, Tony?
I'm sure I don't know because I was uninvolved, but it looks like he fell down the stairs, maybe 3 times.
You, strolling away from the scene, where are you headed?
I'm gonna head back to probably where the bar is because having people around is alibis and people turn up dead in corners sometimes, and that doesn't have anything to do with me. So
You
might as well go get a drink.
glide on through. It's quiet, really quiet. As you walk through the dining room, all you can hear is the snow and sleet hitting against the windows, kind of like a whisper. You enter into the bar. You see there are 7 people who seem to have come to a very sticky end. Blood covers the floor. Over at the ticket booth, you see the grate has been pulled down. Behind it, you see Renee. She has in her hand a broken wine bottle. And as you walk in, don't come near me! Don't come near me!
Well, my goodness, I knew some people couldn't take a critic. And I'm gonna step over the bodies to try to retrieve a whiskey bottle.
You walk over to the bar, pick up a whiskey bottle. Behind her, you see a figure kind of crouched down. Could you perhaps call someone? I'm Jerry Moore, Channel 7. Shut up! What do you say, man?
I say, yeah, well, take a swig of my whiskey. Step back over the bodies. Say, well, yeah, I don't think any of us want this to get worse. Clearly, we've already racked up an unusually high body count for a show that hasn't even gone to previews yet. And I'm looking at Renee. Why don't you put that bottle down? As I, casually, not a threat at all, but totally I'm using threats of violence to manipulate someone. Remove my 9mm from my jacket, because theater is a cutthroat business. You got to be armed.
I think that that sounds like you're manipulating with a threat of violence.
That's a total of 4.
Oh. Would you roll me a possession roll, please?
Yay! Oh no. I got a 12.
Oh, that's fantastic. As you come stalking over, her eyes sort of widen. I just wanted it to be a success. I just wanted good reviews. As you
I don't think you're getting any reviews at this rate.
And as you move closer, Jerry takes the moment to jump. It's his time. Jerry can be the story, not just report it. As he jumps forward to try and wrestle Renee's bottle away and get himself free. As he jumps forward, Renee goes, ah! And just stabs back, catching Jerry across here with the bottle, slashing him pretty horribly. Jerry screams and lands very heavily onto Renee, who slams forward into the grating and the little lip of the ticket booth. And there is a loud crack of her neck. As Jerry goes, I think I've got her. Jerry, that's so awful. I forgot his name. Jerry Moore have captured the perpetrator who has been holding me captive. Film at 11.
Sip of whiskey. And, well, I suppose there's always radio. I am stealing your joke, Alex.
And Jerry seems like, he's just kind of maniacal, considering he's bloody as fuck. What do? You letting him out?
No, I'm just very casually gonna take aim and attempt to, what's the term in this game? Shoot a dude? Kick some ass. There we go. Kick some ass with a gun.
I think you have every ability to do so. Fire away. That's with tough.
Fortunately, I'm pretty tough, so that's an 8.
All right. You fire, catching him pretty solidly in his chest. Blood flies from the wound as he continues kind of maniacally laughing as he stumbles back against the wall, slowly collapsing down into giggles, and then to gurgles, and then to silence. However, this felt good. I mean, all these people here, hell, some of them have said really unkind things about your talent. And with all this going on, you could get rid of some critics with very little chance of it all falling on you. I'm going to give you the option here. You could take 2 harm to throw off this influence, or you can go hunting.
My instincts have never steered me wrong before, and clearly no one person could have done all these murders. I might as well add a few more.
Excellent. And so you begin stalking back towards the stage. Inside the prop room, we have a standoff, 2 guns, and a guy in a cage.
Okay, look, here's my final offer. He stays in the cage, you get in the oversized aquarium from that way too literal production of the frogs, and I'll get inside the isolation booth from Marat Saad. Then no one can kill each other, and we'll all be safe, right?
So you're doubting me now? Really?
Are you attempting to manipulate?
Sure.
All right. You're rolling with charm.
It makes sense. There's a killer on the loose. Let's just all lock ourselves in small rooms. That is a ridiculous 11.
Ooh. So, considering Alex here, what has been proposed? If you do what he asked, you get an XP. You don't have to do that, but it seems, I think the dice imply there's some reasonableness for this.
All right. But I keep the knife and the gun.
Okay, and I'm definitely still keeping my gun.
And so... Okay.
Yeah.
The 2 of you split off. You got an XP. The 2 of you sort of split off to neutral corners inside the cage. Max is like, "No, you should be shooting each other."
Okay, see, it's statements like that why no one gave you a weapon.
You could see he's becoming more and more distraught. I tried so hard, Maestro. Have there been enough, Maestro?
Who is the Maestro?
As you say that, he looks back down the hallway he came from. And you see his body begin to twist. His goddess, he wishes to sing. All he wishes is to sing. Sing with me. And reaching into his pocket, he pulls out his baton, shaking it in that direction. As he does, a moment of clarity, of sanity seems to get into his eyes. He will kill us all. Someone must stop him. And he throws the baton back towards the 2 of you. And as soon as it leaves his hand, his skin begins to wither. His hair begins to turn white. I served you, Maestro. And he collapses into the cell.
Do you leave me now?
Of course not. He's just old. That's all. The high stress scenario. Obviously seeing things.
Wow.
What? You've got to be kidding me! He just like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like his face practically melted off.
You can do that with makeup.
What? Okay, I realize that's not how makeup works.
Maybe he was just always wearing it and it fell off. Okay.
When he dropped his magic Botox baton.
Maybe it was strenuous movement. Who knows?
He
It's more
was
reasonable than
100%
Ghost, all right?
a crazy German person working with a ghost.
Have you seen this ghost? Do you know who the maestro is? Are you the maestro?
No, okay. I'm not the maestro. We don't know who the maestro is. That's why I kept asking him who the maestro is, and you were asking him who the maestro is. It seemed sort of clear there that we were interrogating who this maestro might be because we didn't know who it is.
Yeah. So how can you tell me it's a ghost?
Okay, it could be a mind-controlling spirit, a small psychedelic parasite. We might all be dreaming under a hypnotic state at a magician show in Las Vegas. Do you like Vegas?
I mean, I wanted to go.
We should go to Vegas sometime. I mean, I've heard that like the shows, they're fully immersive sort of audience participation. You know how much I love audience participation.
Oh man, that sounds awesome.
I know, like you're there, you're having a drink, you're watching the show, but then you're also a part of the show.
Do they like stick you up on stage?
Have the two of you kind of left your respective hidey holes now and sort of having this conversation moving a little closer to each other?
Yeah, I'm sort of
think so.
playing with the straitjacket from the Marat Sod set, but it's just idle toy.
You see the baton he threw over there, and he's now quite dead, stretched out towards that hallway from which he came. We are running low on time. I'm going to ask, do the two of you continue a discussion of perhaps organizing a, little holiday to Vegas, or do you choose to do something else?
We obviously roll for travel planning. I mean,
I'm super into this
that's
plan.
a bad situation. So,
while we're talking, I may pick up the baton.
I'm going to use my last hold from Connect the Dots to ask, what did the monster want from this person?
You're absolutely positive that the monster has been using this person to bring together people for this grand moment. He is supposed to bring together the possibility of these people killing each other and a voice, a beautiful voice. So this creature, this spirit, can sing. You're completely positive that's what this guy was there for, to bring this situation about. And you, Allie, the moment you pick up this baton, that sort of overwhelming emotion, all of that tension, it's like it just evaporates.
Okay, Allie, I have a painful confession to make. I need you to promise that you won't tell anybody. But even though you would never tell it from my amazing acting abilities of being able to cover it, I'm actually tone deaf and can't really tell the difference between like certain notes. I mean, I know I carry it off really well in the show. But so you've been with the cast, right, for a while? Like, who's got the best voice?
I mean, were you not there for the how do I put it? You know, when Renee was like, Allie is the best. I wish you were all Allie. Why can't you just do what Allie's doing? I mean, that it may have been a hint.
Uh-huh. Okay, bad news. I'm pretty sure you're like the destined reincarnation of this dead ghost's wife or lover, or like some sort of Dracula Phantom of the Opera thing. But good news, you're probably going to be one of the last ones to die in the haunting. So, listen, just you and me stick together. You use your like amazing voice and spiritual connection with the ghost to get us like primo tickets to Sunrise. That's all we need, right? Then we just get out of here, go find some different community theater to join, and continue our dreams, taking over the stage.
So to start with the theater ghost, who I am a reincarnation of,
I'm just going off the tropes.
At nothing. And then we can leave this blizzard. It's definitely caused by natural phenomenon.
Ghost blizzard, probably from the middle of the stage. But yeah, basically.
At this moment, the two of you begin to hear the sound of two people singing, heading down the hall towards you. Amazing Grace. As entering the prop room, you see Laura and oh my God, it's Laura and Laura. It is the Lauras.
Sorry, so where are we? Are we going into a room, or did we...
You have just walked in on the two of them holding guns and discussing Vegas and going to a new community theater.
Nope, I'm gonna turn around and keep going.
You're gonna...
No, wait.
I'm going. Probably still singing.
We've got to follow them, right?
I mean, you're definitely going to follow them. Like, their singing is going to attract the ghost. And then that's when we pounce?
I was thinking, like, they're singing while people are dying left, right, and center. So it's probably a little suspicious, but let's do it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good point, too.
All right. As they've come in kind of off that corridor where he was looking down. They've come in there. You follow them as you... Laura, have kind of booked it away, and down this, kind of trying to get away. Laura with you is singing, going, "They had guns," and
is the two of them,
yeah, and she's singing, "I saw them with guns. How unsweet the sound." And as the two of you, kind of just going down this hallway, come to a room. It's dusty. There's a sort of sweetie smell to it. Candles. Maybe that's the smell. The light is very low. But you enter into this room and see there is set up almost like a set piece. A small orchestra, like the instruments are there. You see that there is the stands for music, and on them are is laid out the music. And sitting in a chair, rotting away, is a body dressed as Figaro.
Turn around.
You turn around to see, following you, is Allie and Will, both with guns.
I put my hands up.
And at this moment, Ben, you come out of that side hallway where the Laura's had originally stepped from
Oh, thank God.
with your gun out.
No.
There seems to be a lot of dead going around today.
Why does everyone have guns?
Why don't
Theater
we
is a
have
cutthroat
one?
business.
Look, it's a rough part of the city. You just have to watch out for yourself sometimes.
I stole one
I've been
from a
menaced by
Hungarian
multiple-
caretaker.
What now?
Oh wait, no, the conductor. Sorry, it's been a long day.
We've been through a
That
lot
actually-
of scenes so far. It's really taxing.
Yeah, that actually lowers his gun a little bit at that, because just like, what? Still holding a whiskey bottle, for the record.
Just don't. No, nobody shoot me, okay?
I'm not going to shoot anybody who's not a ghost, so just don't be a ghost.
There's
I'm
a
not
To the
a
maestro?
ghost.
Why were
I'm
you
not a
singing?
ghost. Because she
Who's the maestro?
told me
Who
to.
is the maestro?
Oh,
I think the maestro is dead, because you said the Hungarian
Maybe
dude
it's
had the
him.
gun.
and I point at the corpse in the chair.
Oh, God. See?
Which one of you killed them?
He's been dead for like 100 years. Look at him.
He
See, a lot of
definitely
bodies
looked
looking
long
like
dead.
Oh,
Look, Allie, I've been trying to explain to you what theatrical makeup is, and that's not it.
I mean, okay, look,
Where
I'm
is
sorry to say
everybody
this,
else?
but given your talent, I don't trust anything you say about theater.
Where's everyone else? Where are the other journalists?
Really
I'm trying
unnecessarily
to Jerry
hurtful.
I'm
Spent
sorry.
The other
Okay.
journalists had...
On my confidence, you know I had problems as a kid getting up in front of people. You know this.
What were you saying, Ryan?
the other journalists must have had some kind of dispute, because they're all very dead right now.
What?
What?
Yeah,
What?
Jerry went at Renee with a bottle. It was something to see.
What about Jerry? He was going to give me a ride home.
You might want to call a cab.
As y'all are talking amongst yourselves, still singing under her voice, Laura has moved up into the room and is kind of looking at the music on the stand. And you'll pardon me at 11:04 as I sort of hard frame us. As she looks down and begins to sing, the music written there, a glow sort of rises around her. The instruments move and begin to play. The corpse in its chair stands. My goddess, I have waited for you to sing. My Maria. My Maria. And we're going to, if folks would like, I'd like to do an epilogue out after we have our scene and maybe a moment or two to reflect on what we've done here. So how about we, if folks are up for it, let's take 5 minutes, come back and epilogue and end our session. Is everybody cool with that? Is everybody okay with time? Okay. And so I will give our last bit of music. We will take 5 minutes and come back at 10 after. And holy crap, our chat had 66 messages I hadn't looked at yet. Wow. Here is our music back at 10 after. for those of you at home who happen to have gone through this adventure with us, I hope you've enjoyed it. That particular piece of music was Maria Callas singing Ave Maria. Maria Callas, one of the greatest voices ever. Hope you've enjoyed the adventure so far. Well, Patrick, how do you think about that?
I had fun.
I hope everybody had fun. We're going to do some epilogues from this moment as soon as Ryan gets back. And there's Ryan. As the music swells and ends, the corpse collapses down to the ground. The instruments fall silent. And Laura ends her singing. Let's hear some epilogues out from this rather difficult situation. Worth noting, they will dig you out after about another 12 hours. So, keep your epilogues somewhere in the idea of what happens in the 12 or much afterwards if you'd like. I'm going to start at my left and work my way down. So, Alex, my dearest heart, why don't we hear an epilogue for Allie?
Well, Allie is very freaked out by this. Probably thinks that like something was put in the communal like food table. Someone obviously drugged that to cause all of these hallucinations. And so Z's going to hole up in the props room, craft some more traps, and just sit there thinking about the Vegas trip and the audience participation, because it's going to be so amazing.
Wonderful. Next up is you, Will.
I had a different idea, but I'm swerving now. Because I think it's definitely in another theater, much bigger theater, much glitzier, better lit theater. It's in Vegas. It's Allie and I've forgotten my own character's name. Will! I can do this. It's Allie and Will taking their trip. It's like this show. It's all the best magic tricks. There's like half of them involve audience participation. It's like weird mind reading and stuff. I'm super excited about it. We're both super excited about it. I think we're like sitting down at one of those tables that's up near the stage. And there's just this weird, like, they have little lamps on the tables, and there's this weird like flickering in the bulbs as we sit down at the table. That's sort of strange, but we don't really notice as this like line of tables going from us, the lamps on them slowly like flicker and then come back to normal, as this this sort of field, this passing entity makes its way up to the stage. The lights of the general house dim, and we get ready for our next show.
Oh, lovely. Tony Ben McCrime. What epilogue do we see?
I think we see like 12 hours later with some blood at the hem of pants and on his shoes, a little bit speckled on his shirt, which is disappointing. He liked this shirt. This was a good shirt. It did not need to go this way. It was really pretty rude of Grady to bleed all over it. Just brightens as the emergency people get in, and he goes, like, well, hello, Officer McGrady. How are the kids? And is going to take them on a tour of everything that went wrong here, because clearly, when you lock people up in a theater, eventually their thoughts turn to murder. Journalism is a cutthroat business. And yeah, he gets off scot-free, but I assume the play does not go through.
Lovely. And we end with Laura.
Laura goes back to see what has happened to the journalists and sees all of that. You planted guns on them?
No, guns kept coming out of places that weren't only me. I shot a few people, but I mean, clearly they shot each other. But there were more than one gun in play at the end of this.
Sure. I think right at the end of that 12-hour mark, maybe like 11 and a half. They're prop guns, probably. What's my name? Laura just like comes up to you and like from across the room. She's been drinking. She's extremely drunk. And just says, I don't know how, but this is your family's fault. And I'm gonna prove it. And then there's the scene of her like standing over the spot where her motorcycle probably is. Maybe. And then go.
Awesome. Well, that was I've Got You Under My Skin. Wow. What an adventure. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We're gonna do a little Roses and Thorns, a little feedback real quick. I'll start. We'll do Thorns first because we always want to end on that high note for folks who don't know. Roses and Thorns. Thorns are things that you might have seen in the game that you were like, this didn't quite hit. Things that I did, things that something about Monster of the Week, things like that. We don't thorn our fellow players. Roses will be handing out things that are awesome that we did see from me, from the game, from the scenario, from our fellow players. That's roses. We'll start with thorns. I'm going to start with thorns by saying, I'm not sure that this that I got all this across as well as I could have. It was a chaotic sort of thing. I hope it was fun, but I wonder if I convoluted it, if it was too convoluted for a one shot. I have no thorns for Monster of the Week. It always does what I want it to, but I may have made some of this a little convoluted and not gotten us very much direction. That's on me. And it may be that I'm just not great at making one-shots and I needed more time. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if it would have been more fun if it stretched out longer. It was, I think, a hell of a lot of fun as it was. But I'm interested to hear what you folks think. And therefore, I'm going to start on the opposite end this time with you first, Sarah. Any thorns for this session?
Everyone else was so chill about what was happening, and I was not. And I kind of wish that I'd like played into that a little more. A little less running around screaming.
I hear you. Ryan, any thorns?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to thorn Monster of the Week because I feel like it did fairly well. As I was making my character, was going, how am I going to bring any of these moves in? And I didn't really, but they formed my background, so I was happy with that because I'm notorious and I've got friends on the Force. I made them work for me, even though I never actually used those moves. I don't know if this would be better as a two-shot, but I was definitely going, no, we don't only have 3 hours of this. What if we ran for 6 hours? I would probably fall asleep, but it would be rad. So, am I allowed to thorn that the session ended?
You're certainly allowed to thorn that maybe I didn't give it enough time to develop, and that certainly makes sense.
I don't know if you saw Patrick's eloquent eye roll, but he's still got focused, and there was a really big eye roll. And +1 to that. I will not thorn you.
Well, thank you. Patrick, thorns. You'll thorn me, don't worry.
I don't think there are enough possession rolls / situations. I wanted to see more of that nonsense. I don't know whether to put this in thorns or roses, but to sort of follow with the was Monster of the Week the most appropriate. I think it was probably the most appropriate PBTA, but I almost think there's something sort of insane and fun in a one-shot party game version of this possessor ghost scenario that's maybe just that possession move and keep your cool or something like that. I think there was extra stuff there that we could have had more insane body swapping, mind controlling shenanigans without that in the way. How about that?
I hear you. Okay, so you think actually the scenario itself was strong enough that maybe stripping it down would have been something that would have worked well?
Yeah, I think it was the theater tropes were super fun. Obviously, I got into them. But roses. I think the basic scenario of being trapped together and being in the Thing or possessor ghost sort of situation is crazy and scary and funny enough to be its own sort of thing.
Okay, I hear you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Alex, would you please give some thorns?
I have the biggest of thorns because I let everyone down today and I didn't use the unmasked move. It's just, I can't believe it. I'm so sorry.
I thought you might do it on Max. I thought that might be the moment.
Yeah, I should have gone for it. I kept waiting for the ultimate opportunity, but I should have gone for it.
I see no thorn in anything you did tonight. So I hear you, but I cannot agree that you did anything that deserves a thorn. And so we'll get to roses, and I will reserve last roses, and I'll start back with you, Alex. Why don't you give us some roses, please?
Roses to everyone, because this was amazing. The highlight for me was, no, I'm not German, I'm Hungarian. That was just really set the tone for that scene. It was great.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Patrick, roses to hand out?
Yes, it was very difficult for me to go through thorns because I really had a great time and roses all over the place for the weird and wackiness of this whole thing. It was great to just flip from scene to scene, and every one of them was a different form of creeping insanity. I loved watching Laura try to be a normal person who is terrified of this violence and this haunting that's going on, and your thing with what's her name, the alto, other Laura, other Laura at the end, juxtaposed against the rest of it was really great. Ryan, the creepy Max Headroom all teeth serial killer vibe that you put off the whole time was just it kept ramping up in this wonderful way where the smile just would not stop. And just so many roses to Alex for nonstop basement arguing scenes. It was just, I was living for just getting in arguments with Alex tonight. And Tyler, same rose as my thorn was. I think this scenario could be a thing.
Cool. Thank you. I hear you and agree with all your roses, and it might be something to look into. I did think it was fun. Ryan, roses.
So everyone knows how I roll on stars, but roses. I did not follow Bachelor rules. Everyone can have a rose. So I'm going to second the rose that this could totally be a spin-off scenario where it's just a possession ghost game, because that mechanic was super fun. And I was going, I want more possession, but also I want people to use their cool moves, and I was kind of dueling between those. And yeah, I feel like you could strip it down to it's just who is being possessed by the ghost right now, and I would still love that game. Rose 2. Laura for just noping out of everything over and over. It was hilarious to hear the room description and they just, nope, I turn around. And then we hear another room description and nope, I turn around. And I loved it. I would be dying whenever she showed up in the film version of this. And passive Rose to the three-way Allie, Will, and Hungarian conductor argument. I was trying so hard to breathe during that and I couldn't. It was amazing. I know this was supposed to be like super dark, and part of me is like, I wonder how this would go if it was just super dark and scary. But it was hilarious. This was like every horror comedy I want, where, you know, oh no, it's legitimately creepy, but also I'm dying laughing. How do I do these things at the same time? So it was tons of fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Sarah, roses from you.
All you guys' characters, like, they felt very, very true and wonderful. And yeah, like, so much was funny in this. And like, I guess the only two games I played with you have been Horror Monster of the Weeks, Tyler. But you have like such a good grasp of just like the terrible and putting it in our path. It's always just like, but I loved it. It was so much fun.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And I'll do my roses. All of you, thank you. And it was phenomenal how awesome these characters were. These were really interesting characters and people. I thought, yeah, watching Alex and Patrick talk is always going to be fun. But it was really neat to see. You started off with a friendship. It had these tension moments, you know, guns pointed at each other. And yet it still ended up being this kind of sweet friendship that ends with probably horrible disaster in Las Vegas. I loved those characters. Ryan, it was neat because I worried that I wasn't getting you involved in things, but I could watch this character just being creepy, and you leaned into every moment. When you decided to follow Grady, I was like, oh, yes. Oh, that's perfect. That is so good. And then it became a murderous rampage afterwards. And that was perfect. It was so good. Sarah, I adore playing with you. I hope I get to do it more. I love this character. It had real depth to it. I think Laura ended up being kind of if we looked at it like a movie, Laura was the one who was there dealing with the kind of horribleness of it. We had a cast of people going through and doing Quentin Tarantino-esque sort of things. And Laura kind of carried the real horror of what a normal person would do. And it was beautiful. And it was sweet and subtle in a lot of ways. And it was really, really nice. I just applaud all of you for how you played. I love Monster of the Week. I really do. I can see where there were a lot of things that Monster of the Week does that weren't going to be a part of this. There wasn't going to be a ton of, like, reading a bad sitch or those sorts of things because we were stuck in it. I knew we had limited time, so I wanted us to hit. There's violence right off the bat. I wanted us to see what was happening with this possessor ghost right off. I continue to wonder if maybe it needed more time. But in the end, I thought it was fun. I had a really good time. I thought the humor of it was in the right places. I thought the horror of it was in the right places. And I kind of agree with y'all. I think there's might be a little germ of something that could be a a fun little mini game off of the kind of possession-y idea. So maybe I'll try and work on that. Maybe that's something that could come out well. I want to thank you all for playing. I had a wonderful time, and I adore you all. And so I suppose we're going to sign off. For folks at home, if this is the first time watching something, you need to watch more. Thank you all.